Okay, so do you know how when all of our guilds stopped account sharing, which was like after Tomb of Sargeras, like when they did all the big punishment for like RMT and stuff at the end of Nighthold and all that. I know at least like
Hmm.
every guild that I'm aware of, at least after Tomb of Sargeras, stopped account sharing forever because they were banning for it. But if you think about it, they were only banning because people were account sharing and logging on buyers' accounts to do runs, right? They never,
Hmm.
to my knowledge, like banned people for account sharing in like the Race to World First, for example. Like famously, there's a couple of
Hmm.
kills in Method, especially where like I think like there's like three of Zerip's characters in the raid because back then you just didn't that they just didn't care. They didn't get you in trouble for that. It didn't matter. It wasn't affecting the economy or whatever. It was just like a Race to World First thing.
Yeah.
My question is, I know for a fact we haven't done that. I highly I haven't checked, but I like almost certain that you guys have never done anything like that. But I think we probably could have, and I don't know if Blizzard would care. Like this whole time.
I
Like,
don't know if they would easily be able to find out, first of all, but no, I mean, you are correct. I like to my knowledge, this has not been done in a very, very long time, like you
to
said.
my knowledge, I
Yeah.
don't think anyone in the race has ever been banned for account sharing someone else's character to perform better in the race. I don't think that's ever happened one time. But
Yeah.
people did get banned for account sharing, but it was purely because they were just logging on buyers' accounts. But like, imagine it'd be pretty easy to do at our event slash like kind of hard. Like, it'd be easy to do just have someone play someone's character. But what happens when like the camera's doing some like behind the scenes shit, and then there's like a Reddit
Oh
post
yeah.
and like Lip's characters in the raid, but like literally Lip's character is mid boss while they're showing a POV of the kitchen and like Lip is eating dinner, and then it's like and then there's just a Reddit thread, and it's like, okay, well, what do we do from here? After that, Blizzard would be forced to do something, right? So I don't know. We're not going to do this. But kind of my point, can you imagine how much less characters we would need if we could actually account share? All you would need is
Yeah.
one geared. You need to have 3 or 4 Moonkins potentially for sticks, but no other boss. But
Hmm.
but you need 4 individual people to all get a geared Moonkin. But what if you just needed 4 geared Moonkins in total? That reduces the amount of runs you need and like by a lot, you know. So like all I'm saying is account sharing's good. Is basically what I'm saying.
I mean, that was basically the way back in the, let's say, the non-streaming days. That was essentially the workaround for the lack of splits, right? Because yeah, you needed X amount of one class. Well, we don't have enough people that have this, but we have one guy who has both geared. So it's essentially this has been essentially replaced, I would say, in a sense, with just the sheer amount of splits that we're doing nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if account sharing was, let's say, allowed, I mean, you would definitely need a lot less splits to reach the same result, I would say. Because yeah, you wouldn't care, I guess, who has the loot as long as the characters exist. But yeah, I mean, I can't see Blizzard ever changing anything in that regard. I mean, I wouldn't want them to, anyways. I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's
I think,
sketchy. Even though Chinese guilds
yeah.
can absolutely do it because it's just policed by a different group, but I've always thought about that. Like there, when we had Broken Shun, we called him Henry in our guild. When Henry's in our guild, he would like show us Chinese stream. They're doing the race, and they're streaming live on Twitch. This dude was like, "Does anyone have a geared rep paladin in chat?" Because they wanted to add a rep paladin. This dude, I'm not making this up, logged on this guy's account. You know how you like when you log on someone else's account, or when you're setting up an account on PTR or whatever, you go in and you like change the name of the account folder and the realm, and
Hmm.
you like
Yeah.
make it so your UI transfers to whatever new character you're going to play on PTR. That's also I don't know if you know this or not. I'm sure you do. That's also exactly how you like account share someone's account. And this guy fucking did that live on stream, logged on, completely did the setup, main monitor, display capture, did the whole thing, logged on this dude's account, and just fucking started pulling a boss in the race. Zero
I mean,
punishment.
that's an alpha move right there.
It's
Yeah.
an alpha
Like,
move,
holy shit.
but can you imagine how fast one of our guilds would be banned if we did that?
Oh,
It would that person would be banned within 30 minutes. They would be nuked off the planet. You know what I mean? Like that it's just a completely different world, but I mean, no reason to talk about that.
yeah, I actually don't know. I mean, the one thing that I thought always, looking from the outside a little bit, is there is no shot that the same people can do so many pulls on the bosses with sleep included. So my thought was that some of these guilds either are
Oh
account sharing
yeah,
and having other people play when like they have two sets of people like they
yeah.
alternate sleepings,
Complete nuts.
or or they just have, they just replace people, I guess. But then you would need
I
to
mean, is
tier
it
more
really? I've
characters.
actually never paid attention to it. When you're seeing these guilds pull Tindril and Ansurek 1,000 times or whatever, like, is it actually that they're getting those amount of pulls in like too short of a time? I'm pretty sure they're just wiping in the first 30 seconds, and then they just don't talk and they just keep pulling. Bro, if you do that, you can do 100 pulls in an hour. You know what I mean? Like, you can just keep do.
Yeah.
So like
I mean, is there any logs? I don't know. Are there logs? I mean, or can we see if there
you
was, let's say, a reasonable 8-hour break at
okay?
some point of
Is it
no pulls?
Warcraft
I don't
logs
know.
that shows the poll? But the thing is isn't it not going to be able to tell because like the Chinese guilds are not on they're not on the API, right? It has to be like manually. Let me double check. Maybe you'll be able to see this. But like let me look at it. Oh, I remember there was one guild in like the top 10, I think, that had just an absolutely absurd amount of pulls on like One Arm Bandit or something. Let me check. Oh, okay, yeah. So there's guilds. So like this one, for example, World Fourth Guild, they had 267 pulls on Styx Bunk Junger. There was a crazier one though. I hope I can find them in time before this is. I don't want to take too much time, but there
Yeah,
was a
was there like? Yeah, I remember the Tindril 1K. That was that stuck
bro.
in my
Where's the
head.
guild, bro? There's one this tier that's gonna make you go crazy. There it is, bro. Holy fucking shit! This guild, World Seventh, Rick Reverb 36. Styx Bunk Junger 336, Sprocketmonger 317, One Armed Bandit 400. But when you look,
Damn, Daniels. Holy shit. Yeah,
yeah, but like
that's a lot.
when you
Yeah.
look at the time frame, it's just like when you look at all their wipes, they're just wiping in like 2 minutes, and then they're just. I mean, I'm assuming they just go again. You're thinking they okay? So chatters actually bring this up. I don't know if you've ever had this question before, but I have definitely had chatters be 100% serious, and they're like, "Max, isn't the next evolution of the race you have like an A team and a B team, and then like when the A team goes to bed, the B team logs on their characters and continues progressing?"
Yeah.
But that's complete
Yeah.
nonsense. You're gonna
It
spend
is. Yeah.
you're gonna spend the 8 hours you're sleeping just not even getting back to the point you just were because you're progressing with fucking different people. Like the game's too hard to execute. That's why it takes this long. Like it's just
Don't,
complete nonsense.
yeah. Don't get me wrong. I think it's not useful, and I have had this question, and I mean no team would ever consider this. I just I'm trying to think how can they be pulling the boss so
Yeah,
many
how is it
times,
possible?
because
Yeah,
it feels also, I mean, maybe it makes sense time-wise if they literally are just chain pulling and all that. But you gotta wonder, like, man, maybe there is something we're missing, is what I'm trying to say. How they can, and it would also potentially make some sense if they are replacing. Maybe they don't replace like the full squad or something like this, but maybe they are waiting so long hours that they they just have, I don't know, a guild with 50 players, and they just are like, yeah, we want to keep going. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chinese teams played more than we do, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. Now, are they doing the whole A team, B team, like full swap?
yeah,
Maybe
probably
not,
not.
but
But like,
yeah.
okay, it's like kind of how the Russians played, right? The Russian guilds did not do the like we used to pull a lot. Like I think the narrative behind you were Method at the time, but like Method and Limit was
Mm.
Method took way too long in between pulls, and when you won, it was because you're so smart and strategic. And when you lost, all your fans were like, "Man, why don't they just fucking pull the boss?" And then like
Yeah.
our guild would just like chain pull bosses. Like Ben would just slash pull 10, and we just go right. Uh,
Hmm.
and then that was considered like we thought we were on the far side of things, bro. The Russians were on the far side of things. The Russians, I am convinced, did not say a word in between attempts. They just died, rezzed, pulled the zero communication, go next, right? And I think the Chinese guilds are basically just the farthest extension of that. It's that, or they're just like really, really not good. They're trying to do something like when you pull a boss 1,000 times that was killed, and all of that with a video, and it was killed in less than half of that in another week where you have more gear than those people had. I mean, you're just banging your head against a boss you're not good enough to kill, right? Like that's the only thing that could mean, is you were just trying to do something you're not supposed to be doing, and you're just
I
not
honestly,
you're not giving up.
Yeah,